Hello, welcome to Fiasconauts for September.
Yes.
Doing a special episode. We're going to get some allies on the episode, but scheduling proved difficult for the end of this month. So next month, we're going to do our Halloween Spectacular with some allies. It'll be cool. But this week, month, year, day, hour, minute, second, Jess...
Hey, let's make that joke. What's time anyway?
What's
right?
time anyway?
2020.
During these...
Love in the time of COVID.
Yeah. But anyway, a while back, I got this Fiasco boxed set from Kickstarter.
Stick starter.
And I thought we would just open it, because I don't know what's in there. And I don't know what the point of a boxed set of Fiasco is, but I was going to save this for when we were like back in person so we could actually do it like in person.
Right.
But that's going to be 2026. So we're just going to look at this right now.
Great. I think that's right. I think we're I see what camera you're using. That's really funny.
This is one of my old webcams as the Fiasco cam here.
I can't turn it on you because it would show, but I'm using the same exact cam for myself.
All right. What do you think? Should we open I guess we should open the main box first.
I think main box first, unless we really want to confuse ourselves.
Yeah, so we know what the heck is going on.
Be safe with that.
I'll just
Be
take
careful.
this filthy X-Acto knife and pierce the toast.
Oh. Fiasco.
Are we doing Nightman?
Well, I can't help it that it's so catchy.
All right, well, here's the back of the box. So it says there are Fiasco engine deck, 3 decks, playsets, rules booklet, other cards, positive outcomes, negative outcomes, and an aftermath deck. And a let's not card. Oh, it's a board.
Oh.
Okay, let's see.
It's funny that it says what's in the box. That joke will never get old.
The 7 joke?
What's in the box?
The lid is slowly coming off. There we go.
Oh, that's ASMR if I ever saw some.
Wow, the rules booklet is very thin.
Dense.
No, compared, the other one's like a straight up book, you know?
Well, but that's because it has different setups.
Yeah.
This one, it seems like the density is in the cards. This is just telling you how to play Fiasco, right?
Yeah. You are my density.
You are my... That's like the one song Dave Matthews didn't write.
Whoever gets it, gets it. This is my exclusive Fiasco digital playmat on Roll20. I already showed you the code, so take it anyway.
Hurry!
Whoever gets it, gets it.
That's the incentive to be a patron if I ever heard one.
All right, so we have a board here. Oh.
Let's Not is really funny.
I like Let's Not.
I kind of want that as like an emote now.
Let's Not.
I'm a little sad that I didn't get put on the poll for emotes. For you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, one would have been nice.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay. I'm not an ally. Moving on.
Let's read what it says here because it has like a handy play guide. The setup: hand out playset cards and establish relationships and the story details between each adjacent player. Who are your characters based on the cards? What are your names?
Ooh.
And then it's Act 1. You go around the table twice, setting up scenes for each character. What do they want? That seems about the same. Choose negative, positive outcome cards to see how it goes. So there are different... That actually is this going to be better than old Fiasconauts?
It already
Old
feels
Fiasco?
better.
Yeah.
Because it takes a little bit of the negotiation out of it.
Right. Yeah, well, we'll see what the negative outcomes say. And then the tilt. Determine which 2 players will choose tilt elements from the back of the outcome cards you've collected. Use these elements during scenes in Act 2. Act 2, continue going around and take setting scenes the tabled setting scenes. Each player will get 2 more scenes to try to get what they want. Judgment. After Judgment's a new stage. After the last scene, you may give one of your outcome cards to another player.
Whoa!
Compare the values of your outcome cards to determine your character's fate. Read the result from the matching aftermath card until the end of your story. Wow. All right, so this seems different.
I'm actually pretty intrigued.
Muy diferente. All right, so these are Let's Not cards. Fiasco can go to some dark places, but it should never go anywhere you don't want it to. At any time, for any reason, anyone can tap the Let's Not card if things get uncomfortable. If the card gets tapped, just rewind, revise, and change the story a little. The Let's Not card is a gentle reminder to play with an open heart and a desire to make your friends look and feel awesome at the table, trusting they will do the same for you. I like that.
You know what I really like about that? And it's something I'm seeing more and more in play sets. And one that I found a game at PAX East that I played online. And it was basically like it built into the rule set consent.
Right.
Like just decide with your group. Like when you have a DM or a GM that basically puts your character in an uncomfortable position that you never really agreed with, by building that into a play set, it gives someone that's afraid to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that agency to do that. And I really like that.
Right. So yeah, these must be like, these are cards for each player. There are 5 of them here. So it's like reminders about playing scenes and the Let's Not. So maybe, yeah, you can just like flip over your Let's Not and just be like, Let's Not.
I just like, even yesterday we were doing an improv. We were doing an improv rehearsal, and one of the people was like, oh, I don't like what I just insinuated. I'm going to walk that back. And you can hide in plain sight with that.
For sure. Yeah, just be
improv.
open about
Improv
it.
is a little dangerous that way.
So dangerous.
Dangerous.
Let's get dangerous.
Physical.
No.
Physical.
I was doing Darkwing Duck.
I never.
You're coming
watched.
in here with Newton-John? That's Olivia Newton-John, right?
Oh, yeah, Newton-John. I've never heard her referred to
I know,
as that
it
in my
was so
life.
weird.
That's the oddest thing I've ever heard. Newton-John?
Newton-John?
What? Elton John? I was very confused.
What's it say here? Playing scenes. You'll have 2 spotlight scenes about your character in Act 1 and 2 more in Act 2. Choose to establish or resolve your scenes. Establish means you set the scene. Resolve means your friends. So this is the same. We never use resolve, but it's always been a rule.
Really? What is it?
Other people set your scene up for you instead of you doing it.
Oh.
Because basically, the reason we never do it is the way it's kind of described in the book, I think, is like, if you don't know what to do, you can say, I'll resolve. And then you pick the outcome instead of other people. Like you say, I get a positive outcome here, or I get a negative outcome.
Oh.
What's your character's motivation? What do they want? How will they try to get it? Setting the scene. Where's your scene taking place?
I see. So the Let's Not card is on the back of
It's
the
on
how
the
to
back
play
of
card.
the how to do a scene card. Basically,
Cool.
like how to improv. All right, so it comes with some sets here. Looks like we've got... Oh, nice. There's room for more, which is good because I got more. So we've got...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, they really thought of everything.
There's like some dust on it, some weird brown dust.
It's the cardboard that was
The
behind
cardboard, yeah. So this one's Dragon Slayers, which we have done from the main book. We've got Tales from Suburbia, which we have done.
But I like that this affords you the opportunity to tell a completely different story.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of Fiasco. Like you could play the same play set every day, and it would be different every time.
Truly.
And different people would be different. Poppleton Mall, I think we've done. I mean, these are all just the standard basic ones.
Right.
And here's the engine deck. So this is the one I'm really interested in. So let's see. The ASMR of dusting off the engine deck.
I liked it.
I can't get it open. It's so hot in here right now. All right.
Is it?
Oh my god.
I know. I have a little bit of moisture. I hate anyway, my armpits are a little prickly and they're a little, it's not like wet, it's like sticky, and that's the worst.
Got to get laser beams in them armpits. The moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty. Or the other way around. I don't remember.
What is that?
Zoolander. his-
my
it's his
God.
merman.
It's commercial.
Merman.
Merman, Dad. Merman. It's really
All right, so then we've got
awesome.
actual let's not cards that just say let's not on either side.
Okay.
These are the tilts. Mayhem, a dangerous animal gets loose. They've got numbers on them. Interesting. Oh, and these are negative outcomes on the back side. Oh, interesting. So maybe the negative outcomes... Huh. Positive outcomes.
So how does someone determine, like, so there's a certain amount of dice that,
Well, there are no dice in this.
well, that's what I'm saying. So if we only have so many black dice and so many white dice to choose positive or negative outcomes from, do these things get shuffled so that we only have so many to give out, or like how does that work?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll have to read the book and
Well, God
see
forbid.
what the deal is. But here, let's see what a playset looks like. So much packaging.
Why are we making fun of women so much right now?
Huh?
We're really
was-
stereotyping women so badly right now.
I wasn't making fun of women.
I was going, ah.
I was just doing anime effort sounds.
Oh, got it. Oh.
All right, so this. All right, so yeah, it says Wilson on it. Taylor.
Wilson.
The backsides have like names on them.
Oh, so you can't choose your own name?
I think you probably can, but maybe they're. I just opened this box. I don't know the answer to any of your questions.
Okay.
But yeah, so these are all relationships. So I guess you can, yeah, just deal out a relationship. So I think the idea here would be that you just like can set up a game like almost immediately, and it's just like randomized by cards.
I see.
And yeah, the needs,
So in a way, it also truncates the amount of time,
object.
in a sense.
Yeah. This camera gets so blown out. Locations. Yeah, so I mean it looks like you just and blankies. Cool. So yeah, the playsets are just playsets, but they're put into cards, and it seems like you just give out cards. Let's see if there's a quick play guide here.
Oh, because there is one in the book, right?
Yeah. What if I already know all about Fiasco? This version of Fiasco is similar to the classic edition you know and love, but it will play faster and be easier to understand, we hope. For more information on the classic edition, blah, blah, blah. Alright. To play a game of Fiasco, you will need the engine deck paired with a Fiasco deck. Let me just position that so you can kind of see it. Playset deck of your choice, as well as the board and player reference cards. Place the board in the middle of the table and give each player one of the reference cards. Take out the engine deck and separate Aftermath, Outcome, and Let's Not cards. Place the Aftermath cards in the separate space on the board, number side up. Place one Let's Not card below the Aftermath cards. Divide the positive and negative outcome cards and shuffle them into two separate piles. So it's negative, just the negative outcomes and the positive outcomes. It's just these.
I can't handle it.
It's just these guys that say positive and negative. You just put them.
Are
in
there
piles.
prompts on the other side?
Those are the tilt. So I think that's just they just are doing double duty with those cards. I don't get the impression that you use the tilt during the game, but I don't know.
I see.
It's so it literally is just a black or a white die.
I got it.
I think. Randomly put 2 positive and 2 negative cards per player in stacks on their spaces on the board, symbol side up. Okay, so if it's 3 players, you do 6 positive, 6 negative, etc. Set the remaining outcome cards aside. You won't need them for this game. The let's not card we already understand. Setup. Building your fiasco. Choose your deck. Take the playset deck out of the box and set aside the kicker card and blank cards. Shuffle the remaining relationship, need, object, and location cards into one big pile. Divide the playset cards more or less equally among all players. Give everyone a chance to look over their hand. Starting with the person who most recently damaged something valuable, choose and place a relationship card between any two adjacent players. Why'd you shuffle all the... Okay, we took a second and I looked more closely at the rules, and I think I now understand pretty much everything that's going on, broad strokes.
I understand it more than you do now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you shuffle the remaining... You shuffle all the relationship, need, object, and location cards into one big pile and then distribute it roughly equally to everybody. And then everyone goes around in order and gives a relationship, need, object, or location to everybody, every pair.
Hold on. Soft pause. So not everyone's getting an equal amount of need relationship.
I mean, in theory, you would, but yeah, the distribution of relationship, location, need, and object cards will be kind of randomized between everybody, and that's why it says if you don't have a relationship card that you like, or if you don't have one at all, the next person can go.
Got it.
So basically, you pass out all the relationship, need, object, and location cards, and then everyone in turn order hands out their stuff. Kind of the same way that you do it before, but you're choosing just from the stuff in your hands instead of being determined from dice.
Do you have to play with a certain amount of people?
3 to 5 is the...
So you pull out the corresponding amount of cards for people based on how they're playing, and you have to pull out specific amount of needs.
No, you just have all the relationship, location, object, and need cards. You deal them out to everybody.
Equally.
Yeah.
And even if you have it for 5 people, but you're only playing with 3.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
you might not use all of them.
You will not use all of them because it's the same as the old game where you just go in order and put a relationship in between people, but instead of choosing from dice, you're just choosing from the cards you have in front of yourself.
Got it. Gotcha. Hacha.
And then you do the same with objects, needs, and locations. No more than 2, no less than 1 total. For the whole game, same as the old one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you set up your relationships the same way. You come up with characters. You say like, well, how are our relationships the same or different? Blah blah blah. That's all the same. The names, you have the option to take 2 cards and set them on top of each other, and the one becomes your first name with the remaining cards that weren't used. The top one becomes your first name, and the bottom one becomes your second name, your last name. But it says, like, if you don't like the names, you can ask someone else to help you, or you can just make one up. So you don't have to use their names, but it's a cute little extra thing, I thought. Scenes work the same way, establishing, resolving, doing a scene. Then you do the outcome. And the outcomes are sort of similar, but a little different. So instead of getting a black or a white die, you get a card. The backs of the cards, the back of the tilt cards, say, I showed them upside down. They say negative or positive on them. You don't look at the bottom of them. You just get it face down, or the positive, negative side up. And, so if you get a negative, the scene goes poorly. If you get a positive, the scene goes well.
And what you're saying is you're not using the tilt as the prompt. You're just using this outcome as a prompt.
Just the same as getting a white or black die.
Correct. Right. So it doesn't force your hand into how it makes it negative or positive.
Which, is that a missed opportunity? I guess probably not. Like, you don't want this game to hold your hand too much.
Kind of yes, though.
Kind of yes. Like, it'd be a different game.
Here's one little thing that... what I like about this game is that it gives people the opportunity to make really good improv choices and emboldens them to do that. And sometimes there's a little bit, what you want to not have in improv is like a negotiation process where it's like, well, what is it going to be? So sometimes when something makes a decision for you, it streamlines that.
Yeah.
And so if you have a prompt to, well, a mysterious figure walks in. It has the possibility of overcomplicating something, but it also has the possibility of streamlining the storytelling, which is what this does really well.
Absolutely. So then the tilt stuff, the numbers come into play after the first act is done. Same place you do the old tilt. And the way this works is you then flip over your cards. And I guess it doesn't seem like you give your cards away at all in this version during the actual game. Yeah, so you do give away a card at the end, which is different. But yeah, so now you flip over your cards, and if it's blue, it's a negative, and if it's red, it's a positive. And or flip that, flip that. Red is negative, blue is positive, whatever.
But oh, I see.
I don't know why they both have pluses, but like what you do is you subtract the negative one out of or you subtract the lower one out of the higher one.
I just hurt myself.
Same as the old way.
That was so hard. The positive is confusing.
Well, it's just good outcome, bad outcome. And then you just take the numbers and whichever one's lower, you subtract out of whichever one's higher. Same as before.
Same as before.
Same as it ever was. And then whoever has the highest blue or red number, whoever has the highest blue gets to pick a blue tilt of any ones that are showing on the table. So that it's already limited to 3 or 5 or whatever number of players. And then whoever has the highest red number picks one that is showing on the table. Doesn't have to be your own. So yeah, it's 2 tilts out of the choices that you had, and then you use them to all-purpose scene enhance Act 2. Just like in the regular game. Then the aftermath. Before the aftermath begins, you do something called judgment, continuing clockwise from the last scene. Each player may, if they wish, give one of their face-down outcome cards, so it just says positive or negative at this point, to another player. This will shift the balance of both players' cards for better or worse. Always do this before turning the card over to reveal its value. So you don't know the number that you're giving them. You don't know what you're giving them.
Oh, cool. So you can't fuck with somebody too
Well,
bad.
you do a little bit, though, because if you let's say I've got 3 reds and a blue, and you've got like all blue, all reds or something, I give you my blue, that's making your outcome worse. And if you've got all blues, I give you my blue, that's making your outcome better. And it says here, you need to explain why you're helping the character have a better life or why you're kicking them while they're down.
So you can't just willy-nilly be like,
you can't just be like, you have to story justify it. You can't just be like, I want to get a better ending, I'm getting rid of my 1 blue card. You have to say like, you screwed me in the diner, I want you to suffer, like
right.
Which I actually think is pretty cool. And it's just giving them a blue or a red. You don't know the number. So then you flip them all over and count the numbers the same way, subtracting. So if you have fewer red cards, you subtract that out of the blue numbers. And then you go to the aftermath cards, which have numbers on their backs. So 0, 1, 2, 3, in red and in blue. Same as the other way.
Same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was. But if someone else takes that number, you take, what is it, the next highest or the next lowest? Next lowest. So if you got like a red 13, a red 12 plus, and so did I, I've got to get the 10 to 11 because my life got worse because you took the good ending, basically.
Whoa. That's interesting.
Yeah. And then that's it. Then you do your epilogues the same way as before. So it actually is some pretty interesting little twists.
Let me ask you, I know we haven't played it yet. Are there changes that you yourself as a game developer thought would could benefit the game for positive? Like, are there things here that you're like, yes, you fixed this? Or
things that they did that I think are positive?
In this new play set or version of playing the game that you know very well.
Yeah.
Are there lamentations you had that you feel like this new version solved?
Yes and no. Like, I've never thought, I enjoy the setup phase because it's zany and fun. It takes forever. Like,
Yeah.
it's 50 minutes of setup a lot of times in our games. And like, it's fun, it's part of the exploration process, but it takes a long time.
Right.
And I think that this will definitely spruce that up. And I do think that the having physical cards of tilts and stuff. Oops, I just wedged these in here. Having physical cards of tilts and stuff, I think will definitely. What, do you not fit? What's the deal? Will definitely help because you can like look at them easier. Plus, I do like that this won't waste paper, which the way we play the old one.
Well, I
in
was
person,
just gonna say it. I mean, I still like taking notes when I RPG,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessitate that now.
Yeah. Maybe they want you to do it like sideways. Yeah, okay, that's how they want you to do it. Because the things don't fit down the other way. It gets smaller at the bottom. We do have some more playsets here. Some classics like Regina's Wedding, a favorite. Beast of Sucker Creek, I don't think we've done. That's a new one.
Although there's an argument to be made that the Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was Sucker Creek.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A lot of sucking going on in that
It
swamp.
really was.
For sure.
Classic.
So there are 2 decks in each of these boxes. We got Regina's Wedding and Beast of Glory Hole Creek. Let's see here. We got Fiasco High and Camp Death, 2 perennial classics. I just kickstarted this at a high value, so I got all these extra.
I can see.
I'm spending money for you people.
I'm stimulating the economy.
The economy of independent game developers.
Well, yeah, that's economy.
Yeah.
That's an industry.
That's an economy I would gladly stimulate.
I'll stimulate your economy.
At some kind of like sex swamp.
Gross.
Here we've got In the Weeds, which I'm unfamiliar with, and The Hasty and the Hateful, which I have also not played. So these are 2 new ones on me. Let's take them out of the box. I've missed the garbage can with all but that one. Oh no, I hit it with the first one too. See, look at how nice they fit in here.
So pretty.
Look at
Question.
this. Hello.
Can you shuffle other decks into other decks and have a fucking nightmare?
Funny you should
Fiasco?
ask. The back of the booklet here, the last page, has an option about that.
Funny you should ask.
Blending
Sorry.
playsets, it says.
What?
You can also mix cards from 2 or more playsets to get a very different game. For example, you might mash together Poppleton Mall and Suburbia into Tales from Poppleton, or with Dragon Slayers to get a truly wild fantasy mall experience.
Wow.
Even just using 1 card from another playset might make a huge difference. So that's actually super exciting for us because we could then just like kit bash the hell out of these things and play like just totally wackazoid.
Well, you love that in particular because you really love bringing the surreality into things.
Oh yeah, yeah. If
And
I had a counter for the number of episodes that end in like an eternal screaming void or something that I've been in charge of.
One of my favorites was the one
And these are just 2 blanky
where we
boys.
were like the the medieval soldiers and the blankies.
Yeah. Let's see if they're all just. I imagine they're all just blank. And there's a credits one, so you can fill out your own credits. That's funny. What were you saying though?
No, do you remember the Fiasco where we were mortal enemies, but like had to reverse the curse, and there was like, oh god, what was it? I was like the hunk, and you were like the warrior, and we get to defend the castle or something, and then the ending was like the whole sky turned into a vortex.
Honestly, you're describing like 8 different Fiascos.
I know. But that one was particularly great because we ended with the thing we had forgotten to pay off, which was the mossy rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are just straight up Blankazoids.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know what though? That means that our viewers can still submit based off of those cards.
They get 2 of them. Unless they buy, you mean they buy a deck and ship it to us?
No, I think you take pictures of these and they
Oh.
fill it out.
Sure.
Because like I was worried for a second if it precluded.
Right. Audience involvement.
Right.
Oh, maybe that isn't the intent because this doesn't. Whatever. And there we go.
Those were loose anyway, and I didn't like that to begin with.
Oh, I didn't put the engine deck in. Look at this. Perfect.
Perfect!
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Look at that.
It's so pretty.
We filled out this box. We can never get more.
Don't create any more things, Fiasco. I really didn't have high hopes for this because I also didn't know what to expect. I really like it.
I actually, yes, I came into this thinking that it would be a cute thing for people who like hadn't played or something. I actually do think that this brings some improvements. I think that this is a cool idea, well executed. I like the look and feel of it. Very surprised that the rule book is so short. Like, I read, and I mean, we know enough about the rules that I didn't have to read it super in depth, but like,
Sure.
we know all the rules, and it took me like 10 minutes, you know? Pretty wild.
I am excited. Ooh, I'm excited, and the only thing I'm concerned about is how easy it would be to like play this remotely, like we're doing now.
That's the problem. Unless we start using Tabletop Simulator, I guess we'll just have to keep doing it the way we've been doing it.
There's the Roll20, right?
They do have this on Roll20. I gave away my free playmat.
Not unless you steal it now.
I could fill it out before this episode goes up.
You absolutely could do it.
Nah.
Or-
I'll let somebody else get it.
How about this? I'll buy it for somebody. You do that, and a special.
Why don't you
commenter.
buy it for me, and then whoever gets it from this episode gets it?
I was trying to make it like competitive, but okay.
This is competitive.
I also strangely, because I knew we were going to film this today, I had a dream, which is correlative, but I had a dream that I had a deck of Uno cards. Because like
That's
there's
it?
the color. Yeah, I just had a dream that
That's the dream.
that I had. That was the dream.
That whole thing's your name, huh?
What is that from?
Fifth Element.
Oh, you mean one of my top 5 movies of all time?
Too bad you're a charlatan because you don't know every line of it.
It's pretty good though. I'm pretty good. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, big bada boom.
Charlatan. I did rewatch it. Actually, it's one of the only movies I've watched during the pandemic because I've just been watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Sorry
And-
about the mess. Now you have to say the what?
The what?
The garbage.
The garbage.
That's
The
from Fifth
garbage.
Element.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry about the mess. The what? The garbage.
It is
And then they
so
jump
hard.
into it. What? I'm Corbin Dallas.
I'm Corbin Dallas. There's been a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And then he blows up.
Yeah, yeah.
Zorg
Oh, he
blows
sure
him
does.
up.
He sure does.
And that's why you
But
never call your boss.
Why would he? He should have just took off.
Yeah, he should have
That
been
movie
like,
is
well,
what
am
I
very
wish.
disappointed.
I wish that movie is what Dune's about to be. I wish
Whoa, that would be an unexpected tone shift for Dune.
well, I know, but Dune seems so unoriginal. It seems so safe to me.
Eat shit. Dune was first. Dune was
Hold on.
first.
You didn't let me
Star
clarify.
Wars aped Dune. I will go to the trenches for Dune, dude.
clarify the fucking trailer, dude, is what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
all right. I thought
I'm not
great.
talking about the book. I'm named after Lady Jessica. I love that shit.
Is that
I'm reading
true?
it. Yeah. I've read the series 2 times and we're reading it on my
I know you're reading it on your
Twitch
thing.
channel. So what I'm saying is I would love someone to take a bold stance on what they think that future looks like visually.
I
like,
trust Denis Villeneuve.
You do?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Should
seem
I not?
boring to you and run of the mill?
No, it seemed awesome.
You think Jason Momoa is a great Duncan?
Here's the deal. We haven't gotten a good Dune adaptation. You got to do just a good Dune adaptation first. Although Jodorowsky... Have you seen the documentary Jodorowsky's Dune?
I have not, and I need
You-
to. But
it
I've
is
seen like images of what he wanted
amazing.
Salvador Dali to do.
That's the Dune you're talking about.
I kind of want that though.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Why are the still suits like so boring? And why
They're how they're described in the book. That's what they look like in the book.
No, their book they describe them as gray and they're black.
Sorry. Probably they're
you're
dark
right.
gray.
There is a lot of traditional imagery that I think he is paying homage to. I kind of wanted a little digression from
Maybe there
what
shall
we
be.
know, what
Here's the
we
deal.
know
You
space
don't-
to be already.
You don't put that in the trailer because you'll alienate the diehards. And
If they're already alienated with a black female Liet Kynes.
Nah.
Yes.
Isn't she? They're all meant to be like. They all live on a different planet. Why would they not? Why would they be like straight white people?
Liet Kynes is not a Fremen by birth, but accepted as a Fremen and takes a Fremen wife in the book.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But they updated it smartly to be a woman, because why not? Like, hello.
Wait, does she still take a wife?
They produced Chani, so I don't know.
Hey man, men are obsolete. Two women
I'm
can
not
produce
saying that-
offspring.
I'm not saying that
So-
Liet
we
Kynes
have
didn't
the
get
science.
down with women.
We have the science.
Great.
I haven't
Let's-
read Dune since I was like in high school, so I don't really remember it very well.
I don't know. Okay, right. So I don't know how much it transgresses from how Chani is the progeny of Liet Kynes. But
Really, the thing that we should be upset about is like a person from one planet. Well, I mean, I guess in Dune they're all just like people, right? They all just migrated from place to place.
I know what you're about to say,
Or are
and then
they
I got
from-
chastised.
Are they all? Are they?
It is a white savior film.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. 100%.
100%, because it's derivative of
Rich white guy
Islamic
comes in
culture.
and like takes over. Yeah, yeah.
100 uses them to his benefit to avenge his family. 100%. They would not have come out of oppression if not for him. A literal Messiah savior. 100%. Now,
He was
Is it-
prophesied, wasn't he?
he was indoctrinated via the Bene Gesserit. The Bene Gesserit planted a seed called the Missionaria Protectiva on outer world planets should a Bene Gesserit ever need to seek asylum. So when Jessica comes to the planet, she sees that it's kind of like
Oh yeah, Jessica's the one with the crazy powers, right?
so she's a Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, they've got like mind powers, right?
Yeah, it's something that the Bene Gesserit teaches. She's not a Reverend Mother yet, but basically, you know how the missionaries, he literally says Missionaria Protectiva. Like if missionaries are trying to turn the natives into God-fearing people, the Bene Gesserit sent out these like prophesied ideas and like doctrine that would give these people like a sense of their religion so that they could find protection within it. It's fascinating. But they did they did want the Wesak Haderach, and so they did serve their ultimate goal anyway.
People who've never read Dune are just like, what in the hell are they talking about?
Come to bat with me, man. I'm excited.
Read
Let's
Dune.
go.
I love Dune. That shit is wild.
It is. It's really wonderful. So
I only
And
ever
you know
read the
what?
first one because didn't he kind of like go crazy and the rest are not very good?
no. The common feeling is the first 5 books that are solely written by Frank Herbert. There's an argument that some people don't know if the 5th book was exactly written by him because it was published after he was dead. But then his son Brian Herbert takes over, and then it becomes a shit show. Some people like it, but the actually like if getting up to Children of Dune and God Emperor Dune, fucking brilliant. And then you have Chapter House and Heretics, and it's Heretics and then Chapter House. I think it's wonderful. It's like the first 6 books of Frank Herbert. It's worth a read. I've read them twice. They're great. I don't read things twice either. So I don't read.
I listen to audiobooks myself.
Well, I'll read this to you gladly.
I love audiobooks. Listening to the Sandman on audiobook right now, and it's got sound effects. It's quite well done. Full cast.
Oh, yes.
James McAvoy.
Oh, look, I like him. Speaking of Dune, he did a Dune. He was Paul.
He did a Dune reading?
No, he was Paul in the sci-fi channels or whatever channels.
Really? He was in that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't
Early
know that.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, he was Paul, I believe. And fucking Susan Sarandon is one of the Bene Gesserit. Like,
Wow.
I know.
I never watched that.
I didn't either. It didn't pique my interest because it also wasn't Kyle MacLachlan. I just see him as my Paul.
I've still never seen that one either. I just read the book and I heard the movie was bad, so I never watched it.
It's worth watching. It's a really interesting.
Sting's in it.
He's hot as F.
I'm hot as F. I gotta go. It's too hot in here, man.
Okay, it's time. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.